find my guest, Gretel. We're having her join in on this episode. Okay, just gonna add her in. There, perfect. I'm just gonna accept that. Just a second. Okay. Okay, can you accept it from your end? Mine just doesn't seem to work each time. I have sent you a request as well because when I click on yours, it tells me unable to join. Okay, let's retry. Yeah, it always takes a little bit of time to join in. Okay. Oh, perfect. There you are. Hello.
Yes.
Hey, it's so good to have you here, Gretel. It's amazing to have you here. Welcome to
Thank you
the
so much.
podcast.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, you and
Yeah.
your followers. Thank you for having me. Appreciate
Yes,
it.
of course. Of course. So, I want to start with your beautiful codes on you. If you could tell us a little bit more about what that is.
Yes. I think codes like mudras or yoga positions or mantras are patterns that help us to tune into divine. So the
Yeah.
code will represent how the energy flow. And my third eye normally open and I can see
See.
in the pattern that is the more predominant. This is what I draw. And when I draw
Wow.
it, I see that it's like an intention you
Yeah.
anchor, like when you pin something on your profile or when you save something because you want to watch it later.
Right.
That helps your energy to tune into what the code represents, if
Oh,
that makes sense. So
no, it
this
does.
is
Yes.
me and my higher self with two lines.
Two lines.
And then
Yeah.
the three dots in the middle, it's my soul, my spirit, and my humanity. And then at
Wow.
the same time, I set boundaries for protection.
Mm-hmm.
So I am asking all parts of me to unify as one.
Yes.
And then I said, I think it's missing something.
Yeah.
So I add seven dots that will
Dot.
represent the chakras.
Chakras. Yeah.
Yes,
That is
yes.
beautiful. That
Thank
is
you.
beautiful. I feel like I've been following your page for quite a while, and I was personally very drawn to the things that you draw and your work specifically because I, as a starseed, am very in resonance with the frequencies and the energies that you put out. And that's why I was so glad to contact you because your frequency is so beautiful. And hi, I haven't really met a lot of people that can draw the light codes. I can see
Thank you.
them, and I've been just recently starting to draw them as well. But you have like a whole in-depth sort of vibration that you bring, and I adore that.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Probably that's my thing.
Yeah.
And I love to do it. I
Yeah.
love and I feel so blessed that I can do this. And as long as it's meant to be, I will just embrace the journey.
Yes.
Yes.
Of course, of course. Can you tell me how it all started for you? Like, how did you get into bringing it into the 3D plane? Like, how did you start drawing the codes here?
That's interesting because
Yeah.
I was fully awakened as kid, and I remember I would sing with dragons and fairies and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
We used to live with my grandma, and my grandma has like this old houses with
Yeah.
lots of trees and gardens and everything. And I
Wow.
was like the assistant of my grandma. We were always in the trees and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
then I was drawing princesses and
Right.
things since I remember, right before kindergarten.
Oh, wow. That's very young. That's very young. Yeah. Okay, hold on. I think your voice cut off. I can't really hear you anymore. Oh, I can hear
Yes.
you now. Yeah.
Let me, yes.
Yeah. There we are
So
back. Yeah.
I felt crazy and
Hmm.
judged by my family, and I stopped doing it. And I
Right.
never draw again. And I remember in work or in school when somebody need to draw something, I will say, I'm good at drawing,
Yeah.
and then I will draw. But
Yeah.
I have never studied at all. Actually, have no technique. I just
Hmm.
do it because
You
I
love
like
it.
it. I
Yeah.
love it. But then after 2012,
Hmm.
my third eye opened out of the blue. I was
Okay.
listening
Okay.
to a story
Hmm.
that is supposed to be from India yesterday that was
Oh,
saying that sometimes you have died to reborn again.
yes.
And I think this is how it happens to me. I everything
Yeah.
happened. I ended homeless. I
Oh,
lost my job.
it
My
all
relationship was
happened.
bad,
Yep.
emotionally
Right.
broken.
Right.
I don't think I believe in God at that point. I
Right.
just said,
Right.
I may die now, right? I
Yeah.
was in
Yeah.
that shape. And
Rock
then
bottom.
I started seeing angels one day out of the
Oh,
blue.
wow.
I was in this workshop about depression
Hmm.
because I had depression. My
Right.
family sent me to see if, like, an intervention. So I
Yes.
went
Divine
there,
intervention.
and
Hmm.
yes, it wasn't something psychic, it was
Okay.
something psychological. And then
Okay.
I began seeing angels, literally. It was
Yeah.
magical.
Yes.
And I remember that at the end, they did a type of meditation. It was the first time I was encountered with it like that.
Okay.
When I closed my eyes, they had some drums, and we were in outdoors.
Wow.
And then I began to see a lot of faces with my eyes closed. A
Right.
lot, like made of cartoon, like made of light. And then I opened my eyes, and then everyone was in the meditation. I was like, what's
Wow.
going
What is
on?
happening? What is happening?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think my first emotion was curiosity. And then I
Yes.
would close my eyes and I could see partial faces all looking at me. And at the
Hmm.
middle, it was one like from a shampoo ad or something. It was just like flowing the hair,
Wow.
kind of like Beyonce thing,
Oh
like so
my gosh.
beautiful.
Wow.
And and then I said, "Is that Archangel Michael?" And then the image just
Right,
saw
that
me
is
like
so good.
zzz, right,
Yeah,
and
I
I was
get
like,
that.
oh my
Yeah.
god. So I would open my eyes and then nothing happened, and
Yeah.
then I closed my eyes again, and then I would see that one of the partial faces had like almond
Yeah.
eyes, and I was just like,
Okay.
that angel, it's ugly. Right, I was like,
I get that. It can be different looking. Yeah, for sure.
yes.
Mm.
So I was see lots of eyes, and
Yeah.
then sometimes it was just like a nose or like half
Yeah.
face or just two
Yeah.
eyes and the nose, right?
No.
But the
Yeah.
only
Yeah.
face that it was complete, it was the one in the middle. I think angels came true because I wouldn't have allowed anything else to come true. It would have been
Right.
scary.
You're
And
right.
angels were gentle and it was magical. And
Yeah.
then I began doing questions, and then I said, are you Archangel Michael? And then it begins like a
Yeah.
very soft rain, like tick, 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 right?
Wow.
And then I said, oh my God, they answered to me. And then I closed my eyes
Okay.
again because I was like in a call with divine, right? And then I
Right.
begin asking questions, and then sometimes one will come like or rain or
Oh
nothing.
my God.
And then I said, okay, that's a no, that's a yes, right?
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
lasted. the whole meditation. And
Oh,
then when that ends, I could see lots of sparks in the air, a lot
right.
of them that
Yeah,
will just, like lights of a Christmas tree, they would just
right.
blink and then fade
Sparkling.
away.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
and then the
I've
clouds
seen
had wings form. And I was like, oh my God, that is angels, right? Like
angels
they
here.
exist.
Yeah,
Yes.
I love
I think
that.
I knew. Yes. I think, Joy, divine knew I needed a divine intervention, but I needed something that will prove me that
Yes,
it was help of there,
yes,
and that it was something more that I was not opening myself to tune
right,
into that
right.
could make my life better.
Better.
Yes.
That is so beautiful. I am in great resonance with your journey because I know when you said, that you hit rock bottom and everything feels like it's falling apart, like everything, right? Like the tower moments after tower moments. And I felt your emotion as you were describing that to me because I'm an empath also. So I pick up the emotions very quickly and I feel them. um, so as you were saying, when you saw the angels, I felt the frequency of it, like right now, happening to me. It was almost like I was living the experience with you as you were describing it. It was very potent. Yeah, I'm still in the energies of
They're
the
still
angel
around, I
frequency.
think.
Yeah, they are, right? I feel them even Archangel Michael specifically, he works very closely to me as well. And I love him like a lot. And I feel his presence being with us right now. This is very divinely orchestrated. And yeah, I'm just so glad that we can talk about this and share about it here, You said when you used to draw as a kid, right? Your parents or like your surroundings would not really understand or support that, right? And
Yes.
yeah, I felt that too because I used to draw as a kid too, and I would draw all these angels as well. And I had a very similar journey and I stopped it. I completely stopped it because of the shame and the fear of being called different or, that person is just either crazy or different, right? And I feel like when I saw your Instagram for the first time, it just popped up on my Explore page. And when I saw it, it reminded me of that connection to divine, and I started drawing light codes after your images again. So it really inspired that divinity back to me, seeing you do it now, after your journey, seeing you like completely do it openly, that you love it and you share it, and it helps so much. It helps so much, and I'm just so proud of you. And
Thank you.
it's just so inspiring for me, truly,
Thank
truly.
you. I start drawing because one thing is that you sense, and one thing is that you see, and I could see, but I couldn't feel anything or know
Right,
anything.
right.
So after my curiosity, I began being frustrated and then afraid because I would begin to see old things,
Yeah,
shadows, ghosts, things that I
everything.
would understand,
Yes,
and magical, beautiful things.
things.
So I couldn't understand people who said to me, "That's not true. You're crazy.
Yeah,
You're hallucinating. I believe you, but don't say that anymore."
yeah,
Things like that.
things like that.
Mm.
Yeah,
And angels was the safest thing to access to divine, I think, because they
yes.
were so gentle and so
Yeah,
delicate. Because it's it can be scary, and not because you are in risk or not protected,
right.
just because we are not used to
Used to it.
the path of the unknown. Yes.
Yes,
So I remember that one day, for example, I saw Metatron and I didn't
mhm.
know who he was because
Right,
I wasn't doing any spiritual work, right? I had no
right.
idea about chakras or
Anything.
anything.
Thing.
It's as if someone put me into the pool and
Yeah.
then figure out how
Yeah.
to swim,
Swim.
right?
Okay.
So
Right.
yes, so I drowned and I said it was an angel, had swirls of light swirling around in the
Golden.
crown. Who do you think
Yeah.
this is,
Mm,
right? And then people will
mm.
say, I think it's Metatron, and then I'll Google it,
Yeah.
Metatron, right?
Yeah. Wow.
Or then one day say, I saw a
Yeah.
bean and it was dark blue and then had two triangles like that.
Yeah.
What do you think this is? And
Yeah.
then someone says, that's a blue avian. And I was like, blue
Blue
avian? Like,
avian.
Google it, right?
They work very
And
closely with me. Yeah. Blue avians. Yeah.
yes.
I feel them.
And, and I would see some scary things. Their
Yeah.
grays were scary.
Rays are
Dead
always scary.
people
Yeah.
was scary. Yes. Um, shadows.
Mm, mm.
Yeah,
All
there is
kinds
a
of
lot of
things.
things.
Yeah.
Yes. But I learned that when you are in your power
Mm-hmm.
and when you know your strengths and your flaws and you
Yeah.
are secure, because sometimes I could see my guys protecting me.
Right. Yes.
Like I could
Physically.
see wings of dragons or
Just
arms around
clothing you.
me.
Yeah.
Yes. And then I said, oh, the system works. And so my protection is saying to my higher self, I'm going to sleep.
Yeah.
I'm going to place myself into a waterfall of source
Yeah.
light for self healing or anything that's needed. You are in
Mhm.
charge,
Yes.
right? And then I set boundaries with the spiritual world, like you set boundaries with any
Any
person.
person.
Like no one can enter
Yes.
my house
Or you're
unless you
quite
said who
patient.
you are,
Yep.
why you are here. It's yes. And then I
Yes.
learned
So
that
important. Yeah.
no one is better than anyone, not even angels or gods.
Right.
We're all part of the source. We're just in different
Left.
levels. Like, for example,
Yes.
ice is not better than water or the ocean or the river. They're
Right.
just different expressions. So when you take your power back, nothing can hurt you
Right.
unless you don't know that
Allow
we
it.
have God
Yeah.
within. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's a very important topic that you have channeled currently, and I want to ask you a lot more about that. Like how do we sort of claim our sovereignty energetically, right? Because you said a very important thing, like even in the spiritual realm, when you talk to spirit guides all the time, it's very important to set those healthy boundaries, right? Because I myself am practicing it. It's happening to me. I channel quite a bit. Not online yet, but I do my inner channelings quite a bit. So I usually have a hard time kind of having a boundary with the Akashic and the current plane, and I'm constantly receiving downloads after downloads after downloads, right? So I recently learned that you can claim your sovereign frequency. You can claim your energetic frequency by saying things like, "Oh, I only allow my own frequency to be established here, and I want to pause the downloads. I want to pause the spirit guides, right?" So what are more ways to sort of make that energetical field stronger or more protection energetically?
I think we're always protected.
Yeah.
And I think divine plan include dark and light.
Yes.
In the human mentality, we need to have bad guys and things that we are against because we're meant to be challenged. But it's
Right.
all in divine order. Even we have season to grieve, season to be in depression, season not to do anything, seasons to go slow, and seasons to push to force the great to be activated.
Right.
So find that rhythm between when that activation or that force
Right.
it's working with you
Right.
or when it isn't, because
Right.
at the energy level it's more simple. Energy
Mm-hmm.
is neutral. The majority of the energy that's around we can use it, it's just source.
Right.
And
Source energy.
if
Mm.
doesn't have an intention, it will do whatever that is needed. So
Right.
if the environment feels dark,
Mm.
it's because darkness is the strongest pull. Like, for
Right.
example, imagine that energy is money.
Okay.
So imagine that is money all around. So
Mm-hmm.
if no one take it, the money is gonna be there. But as
Right.
soon as someone take it,
Yeah.
it can become a resource to get whatever you need.
Right.
So
Huh.
basically, is intention is very important because
Important.
when we set intention,
Mm.
you claim that energy to
To
yours,
your
and then you choose what to do with that energy. Imagine
right.
that you have money, but you
Mm-hmm.
never set intention to that money. So sometimes you go into your bank account and then
Yeah.
your card decline because you have no money anymore because
Right.
someone else use it for you. Whatever
I
agenda
see.
is,
Mm.
yes. But
Yes.
when you are aware, when you are present, you never have any distortion at all because energy
Right.
behaves because we're looking. This is why we see eyes, right? This is
Mm.
why all of the ancient god and goddesses and girls, they always represent eyes because it
Yes.
represents I am looking to myself from my God perspective. I am the one that I am looking and I am the
Yes.
one that is being seen. But when you honor that perspective in whatever way it's easier for you,
Mm-hmm.
it all surrenders. Like, for
Right.
example, imagine that the kingdom of God is a company.
Yeah.
So maybe the CEO is never there and no one
Mhm.
knows him, and you do whatever you think you should do.
Right.
But what if one day you know the CEO is going to be there, the president?
Right.
Everyone will behave, you put your best
Ah,
clothing, you prepare
intensive.
yourself, right? So
Yeah.
when you look
Yes.
the
Mm.
energy is like, oh, it just rectified.
Shifts. Yep.
And
Mm-hmm.
in even entities, they
Yeah.
don't even try. It's just
Yeah.
like, no way. That person is aware.
Yeah.
They will go to someone that's distracted
Right.
with the news, things that happen with
Lower
Hollywood.
frequency.
Yes.
Yeah. Denser in nature. Yeah. Yeah. I'm picking that up. Yeah, you're right. So they always prey on these lower sort of frequencies, and when they see the light, they don't really come close to it because they see the light, right? Like they see your auric field shine at a very higher density, a very high frequency, and they don't really mess around with that, do they?
Look, imagine that you're like a super millionaire. Like, what will happen if Dua Lipa
Yeah,
enters into the mall that you are? Everyone will stop doing whatever to see if
yeah,
they can have a picture with Dua Lipa or Taylor Swift or Elon Musk or
right,
whoever. So
right.
for lower frequencies, we are those persons. So they want to
Ah,
attach. They
right,
want to be with
right,
you
right,
because we're God. Yes?
right. They're attracted to that frequency. It's a high frequency. They want to stick to that. Yeah, they want to feed off it.
They
Right.
want to feed off it because we are the passage to go to the source.
Ah, through us,
Yes.
like a channel. Right. I
So
see that.
we complicate things because we think and want to understand. But energy is
Right.
basic. You love or you don't.
Right.
You're good or you're not.
Not. It's
You're hungry or you're
very
not,
clear
right?
cut. I love that.
So
Yeah.
energy will do anything that's needed to find harmony so it can pass to the source because
Right.
that's the system.
That's the
So
connection.
even if you don't do
Yeah.
anything, even if you don't clean yourself,
Yeah.
even if you don't work, you will go back to the source one way or another.
Right. Right. Mm.
We just complicate things because this is our lesson, our experience.
So lesson.
I
Yeah.
imagine that in heaven it will be boring. I mean, because you said I'm eternal, I don't have to
Yeah.
eat, I don't have to do anything. I have
Yeah.
been here forever
Mhm.
and I will be forever. What do I do? Let's create a world,
Yeah.
complicate each other for a while, and then we go back to
Ah,
the eternal less.
that's such a beautiful, beautiful take on that. That's very accurate, actually. That's what it is, really. We complicate it here, but it's all a returning back to source. It's
Yeah.
returning back to exactly where you came from, right? One with source.
And knowing that you never risk yourself, even
Yeah.
if bad things happen in the illusion, it's
Right.
like I was saying to a client yesterday, like,
Yeah.
did you already saw the movie Titanic? Yes.
Yes.
You know what happened? Yes. So what if you saw it again? Did you got in depression or worry because Jack is going to die and all those people? No,
Mm-hmm.
because you know
No.
what is going to happen. You can watch it.
Right.
Or when we see a scary movie, or when we go on the
Mm-hmm.
roller coaster, like
Mm-hmm.
you know you're gonna be scared a little bit, but that's okay because it's not real. But
Yeah.
it will just like 30 seconds and then that's it. So
Yeah.
this is why when we have here, we have darkness. But it's
Mm.
because darkness is also the passage for
To the
us
light.
to have more
Yeah.
light. Yes, this is something that
Right.
I see.
Mm.
Yin looks for yang and yang looks for yin.
Right.
But if there is a lot of yang around, a lot of darkness, then the light is forced to come through. That's it. That's no way. Because darkness forces the light to come through. But if
Mm-hmm.
you have a lot of light,
Right.
like we are in the
Right.
eternity, you
Right.
have to have darkness
To
to
balance.
balance. Because
Yes.
otherwise, it will be like that sunny day that it's so
It'll be too
sunny that you
much.
cannot
It's too
see,
much.
that you have to
Yeah.
put some glasses, a little bit of darkness, so I
Right.
can see comfortable,
Right.
right? Like imagine if we would have sun all day, all night. We'll get
Yeah.
tired. So we
It's
have
not.
night and
Yeah.
then we can rest.
Rest.
Yes.
Yeah.
So at the energy level, I see that darkness and light cooperate with each other, contrast each other, and flow with each other. And then it will feel good or bad for us depending if we're tuning into what's in harmony
Right.
or what we think it isn't.
Perspective. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
How
Perspective.
how we view it. Yes, I resonate with that. Yeah, that's why I feel like it's kind of the energies are so open. You described it very beautifully. Very few people can describe that very accurately, and I think you're one of the first persons I've met that's come so close to a pure representation of source energy. And I feel that when these energies interact with us, it's our lens on how we view it, because energy is there. You can either make it negative or you can make it positive, because you are the co-creator, right? Like
Right.
here we are the co-creators. So it's more like we have so much free will that God source energy allows us to even create a negative experience or a positive one. But people don't really understand that you can have it in your way. Like you have control to create a positive experience. You don't have
Yes.
to go through the negative experiences, because people think it's happening to them. It's not happening to them. They're
Yes.
choosing that subconsciously. They're choosing to create that experience, right?
It
To like a
happened
degree.
because of us.
Right. Yes.
But I think, sorry that I interrupted, Joy, that sometimes you
Yeah.
want a darkness as experience because it's like an
So,
actor. Imagine
right.
there is an actor that always does the princess movie, and then one day you see it doing the antagonist of the movie
Yeah.
because it's fun
Yeah.
or because they want to grow in
True.
their own capacity as an actor, and because
Right.
and the spirit does not risk at all,
Right.
you will do it like for fun. Like for example, maybe someone for fun will said, I'm gonna drink a bottle of wine today, even
Mm-hmm.
though tomorrow I will have a headache, but it will be fun today, right?
Right.
Or I
Right.
will shave my hair today, but it will grow in 6 months,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or I'll eat donuts today and candy and all
Yeah.
sugar that is not healthy, and then tomorrow I will just detox myself, right?
Right.
Sometimes we do things that we know are not good, but
Mm-hmm.
it's because of the experience, if that makes
The
sense. And
experience.
I
Yeah.
think in this plane, like for example, imagine that we're rich and billionaire and we have everything. You don't have to work, you don't have to do anything,
Nothing.
you just have all you need.
Mm-hmm.
And then you will want to work because of the fun of it. You will
Yeah.
want to do something
Yeah.
because to have meaning into your life.
Right.
So when I access the
Mm.
Akashic records, something that I
Yeah.
see is the most meaningful relationships and experience
Mm-hmm.
are born in darkness. We don't have to
Right.
suffer. You could surrender to it.
Right.
But that challenge will bring the experience in you. Otherwise, it's like, let's say that you and I see
Mm-hmm.
a documentary about Egypt, but we never go there.
Right.
But we have the experience. But maybe when we got there, we said, oh my God, it was too hot. It was a lot of flies.
Mm.
Food, I didn't like it. My stomach was upset, but I went to the pyramids and it was awesome.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the experience will include the bad things are part of
Mm.
the experience because if you don't have contrast, you don't know how much you enjoy it. Does that make
Right. It's a
sense?
learning. It's like your soul requires that sort of learning here. I feel like I channel a lot of frequencies from different planets. So I myself am still adjusting to Earth frequencies. I feel like only Earth kind of has this polarity of this kind. So it always blows my mind because in other planets and other star systems, we don't have this issue. We don't we don't have the issue of polarity as such. You know, there is a stable sort of frequency like a Mintaka. I am a
Yes.
Mintaka star seed, so I have a little bit of a different time adjusting to the dark contrast like here on planet Earth because I have it so strong running through me. So I always try and understand that how polarity is a part of the Earth, this Earth school experience here as a soul currently.
But for example, Joy, what do you think your soul taught Earth was a better experience than Mitaka for this
Yes,
lifetime? Or Pleiades?
absolutely.
Or
Yes,
being an angel, a fairy,
yeah.
or
I
Egypt?
was actually, yeah. You're picking up my past lives. I was all of them. Yeah.
So I think we came here because we have free will. Free will to choose whatever you want to be, darkness or light, and in
Right.
between there is a myriad of possibilities to be. Because in a higher frequency, you don't have choice. You
Yeah.
do what it's always in harmony. So maybe
Yes.
if we go back into a person that says, let's get wine today and dessert and dance all night, and then tomorrow we'll detox.
Yeah.
Maybe in Arcturus and Seven Dimension, you don't
Yeah.
have that.
Yeah, exactly. I want to talk more about that. I want to talk about these other realms because I feel like a lot of people are still stuck in this. I always channel the other, the ethers. You see how it's bringing it out of me? Yeah, so I always want to bring the ethereal aspect to Earth because I feel like Earth has forgotten about our star families and our star ancestors. And I feel like I am the bridge to that. That's why I created this podcast. It's called the Activator Podcast for a reason. I want to bring the heavenly frequencies to Earth, like now. Like I wish to talk more about how the other planets don't have that. Like you can reincarnate to any planet that you wish after this. Of course, you're here in this lifetime. Yes, you've chosen this, but I want to bring the possibility of the ethereal, the star systems here. Now, I feel like a lot of people don't really know much about that.
So, where do we start? What do you want to share?
I knew you'd say that. Yeah, I knew that. I feel like you start where your entry point is allowing you to channel. Whatever comes through is welcome.
Okay, so do you want to ask questions to the persons maybe? And then
Yeah,
to
we
see
could
if they
reply.
have questions?
Yes, of course. Can we have some questions about this topic?
Or
Yeah,
if you have a question,
yeah,
I can connect. Okay, do you want to do it
yeah,
on the star seed?
yeah. I would love that. I actually have a specific prompt that my spirit guides are bringing through to ask you. They have a few questions that they wish to ask you. Yeah, it's coming through. I'm channeling. Yeah, about Venusian Polarians, if you know about them. Venusian starseed races.
Mm, there are different tribes, there are different levels, and they could be different in each level.
Right.
But Venusians, what comes through is that they are an ethereal world that is yet to be real like Earth, right? So it doesn't have duality yet because it's like in its own conception stage,
Yes.
like what timelines or something, and it's
Mm,
very crystal and very
right.
ethereal. And
Yeah,
then many of starseeds from Earth will have a Venusian experience after Earth ascend. Like some starseeds came from Mars,
right.
and
Ma
then we have Saturn and Jupiter before, then after Earth, Venus will be the physical experience that you can have.
yes.
But Polaris is like a parallel brother of Earth.
Okay.
Polaris has different essence.
Mm,
And one Polaris got the star that it was the North Star that it was guiding Earth,
right.
like when Jesus was born. And before Polaris, I think it was Sirius. Maybe mistaken.
Thanks. Yes.
Yes.
Syria was a
Before
full
that,
one.
yes, because Earth has changed location. So
Yes.
every sometime, like 2000 or 5000 years or 1000, depends on the
Yes.
stars,
Yeah.
the North Star will
Same.
change. So it was Polaris.
Yeah.
I think we'll still have Polaris, and then we're going to enter Vega soon. There'll be
Yes.
another era. But
Yeah.
before Polaris, it was Sirius. This
Mm.
is why the pyramids were pointing the star system of Sirius and Orion. But
Yes.
Polaris, it's like Earth, but they have less duality than us.
Yes.
I haven't seen like a very dark timelines. It's
Right.
more like a collective, more like organic. Like
Yes.
for example, imagine our primitive tribes like long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like they will travel all around. They wouldn't have rules or anything. You could be naked or not. You could work or not. They will
Yeah.
just have fruits and animals and things. That it
Mm.
was more community oriented. Like my group.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as I know, Polaris they have a collective
They become
consciousness, but
collective.
from
Yeah.
fourth dimension wanting to ascend,
Yes.
like
Want to do it.
bees.
Mm.
Yes. So some of them look like insectoids
Mm.
or like dragons, humanoids or like humanoids, but it
Really.
feels more tribal or organic
Yeah.
than Earth.
They're like
Yes.
shamans of the Venusian planet, kind of. They're very shamanic in
Yes.
nature. I'm channeling them.
Yes.
Yes. They're very
Yes.
tribal.
More
I
shamanic.
Yeah, very, very shamanic. And yeah, and I had to ask you about star gates and our ley lines currently, and how anything that's coming through for Stargates specifically.
Well, stargates are same according to the timeline. What I have seen in my travels, because I dream a lot,
Yeah,
it's Earth in its own etheric sense. It
yeah,
looks like a Rubik cube.
yes.
And in each cube, let's say, there is a timeline and there is a reality. So it's all happening at the same time. And then you have, it looks like the cells of the brain.
Mm,
That you have the cell and then have different lines pointing into different directions. And then in between, it's nothing. It's a void, it's empty.
right.
So my theory, and I say my theory because we don't know until we died is that the universe is part of our illusion.
Yeah,
Pleiadians, Polarians, Venusians are part of our illusion.
right.
Other beings will exist, but with
Yes,
consciousness, we may have no idea how to connect yet.
right.
But I think that is going to change soon. The Stargate that I know it's open,
Mm,
it's on the constellation of Orion, and there
yeah,
is another one that you access between Jupiter and Saturn.
mm,
That is a gateway too. But
yeah,
the gateways open and close and open and close according to the locations
yeah,
of, yes, of the stars.
yeah,
And on Earth, you have them, for example, where the ley lines
yeah,
cross, people can Google it, where the chakras of
yeah,
Earth
yeah.
are, those are also stargates.
Yeah, the Earth chakra points. That's what I was being called to bring forth to the people currently about the Earth's chakra points and how these are portals to higher frequencies and higher dimensions that you can access currently on Earth to still kind of have that piece of your soul frequency back. I feel like a lot of advanced star seeds, like my consciousness is very advanced per se. I haven't really come across a frequency similar to mine on a galactic level. I mean, enlightened, like as aware, like consciously. And I feel like you are very, very conscious of everything that people know, but don't really embody, or like it hasn't really dropped into full awareness, but you have your eye very open, very, very wide open. And
Thank you.
that speaks to me in resonance. That's why I feel like I can ask you the astro sort of dimensional questions. Yeah, I feel that resonates with you. Yeah,
Thank you. Look, I think spirituality, it doesn't help if you don't practice it.
right,
You can know a lot of things, but knowing is not a sign of wisdom either.
right.
Like being old is not a sign of being mature. So if we don't practice your spirituality, whatever you know, your Reiki, your meditation, your yoga, your breathing work,
Yeah,
it's useless. Like
embody.
when I was seeing things but I couldn't figure out, it's useless.
Yeah,
And and sometimes it's more entertaining to be into what's happening with the starseeds than to be present into our own life.
right.
I know that I think we're gonna have disclosure soon,
Yeah,
and I think it will come through science, through AI, to science, and I think it will be gradual. I don't think they will just come here, but
right.
probably will make connection.
Forced.
And what I have seen in my timeline is Pleiadians or humans from the future.
Yeah,
And then we'll know we can travel in time, and probably that will happen in less than 2 decades. And
probably.
then all what
Yeah,
we think is true
yeah,
will be useless, and then new information will come because everything will be just in the expansion.
yeah,
I think from what I have seen, some people have been ascending already in groups of souls that we just don't remember. Then when we just say, we just don't remember. Like for example, maybe one day
yeah.
if I reach that frequency, I will just disappear and then encoder frequency never existed or someone else is there, right?
Right.
So it's not a day that we will all ascend.
Mm,
You ascend
mm.
when your frequency is ready.
Yes.
When I know because I have met people that are in that line of ascension,
Yes.
they really do magic. Like I know some people in India can do that or in Asia that they can multiply food
Yeah.
or like heal you instantly, tumors, cancer, things like that. When
Yeah.
you are in that level, you are a
Magic.
step from ascension. Or
Yeah.
bilocate yourself or be in multiple places at the same time.
Right.
It's when you are really touching that fifth dimensional frequency. If you
Yeah.
cannot bend spoons or any of that, you're just
Yeah.
lying. But some
Something.
people are
Yeah.
not choosing to ascend,
And
others will stay on galactic Earth. like going through the space, marching with your
yeah,
AI, and Earth will still be a place for souls that
learn.
doesn't want to take the fun away.
Yeah,
Yes, the fun. And then
wait,
it'll just be transformed. I
yeah,
think we will merge with technology at some point.
we will.
And because when
Yeah,
I tune into the future, I see that people have things like cyber things,
yeah,
yes, in the
yeah, I see
ears and
them.
the arms and the eye.
Yeah, that's there. That's coming though. I feel like we're not that far from the contact because I feel like there's a lot of us currently. I don't know if anybody has spoken about this or not yet, but I feel like there's a lot of us who are being prepared currently to make that contact. There is a group of souls that are currently being made ready to have that first interaction with the Pleiadians on actual Earth when they do arrive. And this lifetime for them is a preparation to be in contact with that frequency. And we are preparing for them. We're preparing Earth for the Pleiadians to come and to set foundations here, sort of.
Yes,
I feel that.
yes. Because I think Pleiadians are the ones that gave us our genetic suit, so we're the most alike to them.
Yeah,
It will be less scary.
yeah,
But in some timelines, I have seen that Andromedans are the ones that make
yeah,
contract, and in another ones, it's us from the future. I mean, we look like aliens, but it's just humans from future. Yes,
yeah. Advanced humanoids. Yes, I see that. I see that.
yes.
Also, I feel like currently I want to talk about the dragons and the ley lines. It's bringing my consciousness back to ley lines and the dragons. You can pick it up. Yeah.
In this timeline, I think we just avoid another global war. It was
Yeah.
just a shift. I don't know if you feel it.
I,
And it it will be something that I think will force humans to be kind and compassionate within each other and then make peace. I don't
5D.
know if that will be like a terrorist attack or something
Yeah.
that will bring compassion into like force compassion. Yes, I'm not sure exactly when or why or how because
Yeah.
things are changing and we're changing timelines, but I
Yeah.
think we are in a positive timeline and I think we have prepared for this for a while, and I think we're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Dragons, there are negative and there are positive ones.
Mm.
Dragons are four dimensionals, the ones that were on Earth. I think dragons were here before,
Yeah.
and then they were placed into a different plane,
Mm.
like fairies and
Yeah.
gnomes and all of that. And then sometimes those worlds just mix, like
Yeah.
dead people, for example.
Right.
So
Overlapping.
you can have your dragon activated when you want to be protected, when
Mm.
you if there's a lot of darkness within you,
When you're
as your dragon.
like a
Yes.
transmute, right? Like when you transmute the energies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or your animal spirit. Like some
Yeah.
people have like a bear or a lion or whatever. Because I feel like dragons will have our in alchemy they call it the animal
Yeah.
part of us. It's like things we desire in the physical, not necessarily desire that you're passionate, but
Right.
but the earth things
The
that you want to
yeah.
manifest. Yes.
Yes.
So beings from four dimension will vibrate on that. This is why sometimes praying to the fairies
Yes.
or the crystals are so efficient to
Mm,
have your dreams come true because we vibrate in alike
yeah.
frequencies, but
We
they
shift.
can manipulate the
Yeah.
physical, and we sometimes don't remember how to do those things.
Yes. Yes.
But the ones in darkness, I
Yeah.
feel they represent the instinct that is not in harmony. Like maybe if someone has perversions or
Right,
addictions
right.
or anger or resentment or hate, that can be manifested on your dragon too. But
Uh,
normally a dragon, what I have seen, it represents an awakening on your kundalini. Actually, we have
uh,
dragon gates that are in the side of our chakras
yeah,
that when they would activate it is because you had your kundalini
right,
awakening. In
right.
many of the cases, it represents your twin flame
Yeah,
or soulmate, whatever you want to call it, that
yeah.
comes to protect you from whatever timeline he is, even if he is not alive, to
Wow,
come to make sure you are taken care.
really?
Yes. Yes.
Wow. That is that is profound. I haven't heard of that before, and this is new information for me. I really love learning new forms of
Actually, have you met this yogi man that are like super
yeah.
strong, that normally that personality they call them dragon man because they help you to awaken your energy? Have you seen those
Wow.
in Kundalini yoga or in Tantric yoga?
But I haven't seen this specific person that you're talking about, but I can see it in my third eye, but I can't, I haven't seen it ever physically before. Can you tell me more
Maybe
about that?
someone will go into a Reiki retreat for a weekend in Hawaii, and maybe the master will function as the dragon awakener or the Kundalini master and will function as a twin flame
Yeah,
just for that session. If the person doesn't have a twin flame, just to
right.
activate it,
The way
the energy
it,
within. Yes.
right. Wow, that's a good photo. So basically, even if you so let's talk about twin flames actually. This is an interesting portal. Yeah, I got
I have
onto
been
it.
doing twin flames drawings for a while and I have learned a lot.
And I also
Something that I,
I
yes.
like that.
You have a question? Let's go with your question.
No, no, I said that I love your twin flame drawing so much because I'm
Thank you,
so
thank
drawn to them. I want to know more.
you. Look, we all have a twin flame and we don't. I'm
Right.
gonna put it in that way.
Yeah.
I have defined twin flames in a different way. Is
Mhm.
your soulmate if you are just connected in the physical? You with a soulmate you can have many lifetimes, and sometimes one will be awakened and the other it won't.
Awakened.
So maybe you're empath, and if you have a soulmate, maybe you can sense him, but maybe
Right.
he cannot because he's not awake.
Right.
So that won't be a twin flame. That will be just a soulmate.
Soulmate. Yeah.
Yes.
Very well
This is
put.
how I
Yeah.
kind of divide them because things are so interwoven, it's not that easy to separate them.
Yeah.
So with your twin flame, you have this soul energy connection
Yeah.
that maybe that person is in physical or not, or maybe is in Egypt or in
There
Atlantis
is.
or another planet, and
Yeah.
you can feel each other. You have telepathy connection. You can heal each other. You come to support. You can protect each other.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you're gonna marry him or you're gonna live happily forever. In the twin flame, it's just from spirit to spirit.
Or
So
to
twin flame and soulmate
yeah.
can be karmic or no,
Right. Mm.
both.
Both.
Because even if it's your twin flame
Yeah.
or your soulmate, but you are vibrating in the harmony, that feels karmic. Now, in this plane, we will all have a little bit of karma,
Mhm.
but sometimes the challenge is in harmony. Like, for example, maybe one it's a cheap person likes to save, but
Okay.
maybe the other it's a giver.
Right.
So between the giver and the receiver, you find balance. Yes.
Right. Yes.
But
Yes.
if both are givers and they go bankruptcy, then that's karma.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Or
Uh,
if you're having
yeah.
violence, abuse,
That's a
control, any of that,
yeah.
twin flame or
Karmic.
not,
Whoever
yes, that,
karmic.
yes.
Yes. That's how to
But
identify.
there are another layer that is the ideal for me. Not
Yes. Tell us.
everyone wants to have a physical experience. Even sometimes as starseeds, they don't want complication and they just want a twin flame connection. They just said, "Ah, I don't want to have kids, or I just want to go out, just have the soul thing, and then that's it." And
Right.
sometimes your twin flame would be a spirit guide, or you will channel it, or you will, right?
Yeah.
Or sometimes people meet in the astral
Yeah.
because maybe he lives in Australia and then she lives in the States
Mm.
and they don't want to change, or sometimes people don't even have the physical connection,
Ah,
don't have the attraction.
right.
Sometimes they have just a platonic love. In the majority of the cases, twin flames is a very sensual connection.
Yeah.
It's a very magnetic attraction. You just want to like lick each other, but not all.
I
I
feel
have seen,
that.
yes, a couple that I met,
Yeah.
they were very connected. They would speak, they would work together, and he was gay,
Oh.
and he was gay, and he's 25 or something,
Mhm.
and she was like 55, already married, but she didn't want it to have anything romantic at all.
Oh,
She was dedicated to her, yes,
oh,
but
yeah.
they know there will be a twin, but he will have another partner, right? So sometimes I have seen cases like that they
Right.
don't have the physical connection. They love like brother and sister. Or sometimes they are, yes, sometimes they're like friend
Yeah.
alike. Mm, but in the majority of the cases, I think 60 or 70%,
Yeah.
the sexual attraction, it's
Yeah.
insane. It's just
Tell us more about that. I want to know more about that.
because it feels like
Fire.
that part of your soul you're missing, you know what it is, so you want to merge, right? And that energy is not necessarily sensual, but it's blissful, feels good.
Yeah.
And I think the next level is divine partner. I think a divine partner is someone that is your soulmate, is your twin flame, but you find harmony
Yeah.
to work things out in whatever way
Yes.
that is enjoyable the majority of the time for both of them.
Right.
So I think, say, from all of the drawings that I have done, I think 40% are in that category. And it's amazing to see. It's
That.
beautiful to see because it's a couple that I was talking with one couple
Yeah. Yeah.
2 months ago. They are doing a tarot deck and they are channeling all of the lifetimes. So they wanted help to channel the Orion lifetime. So she
Right.
said, people don't believe that we don't fight. But she said, how we're gonna fight if we feel each other? It will be like fighting with myself. And
Exactly.
that's so true. Or for
Gosh.
example, other clients said, I
Yeah.
knew he was the one because I would feel so peaceful next to him
Mm-hmm.
that he would just make me feel sleepy. And then we'll both feel
Relax.
relaxed. And that happens because you're instantly healing, right?
Healing.
Or other client, for example, said, as
Yeah.
soon as I met him, I
Yeah.
just wanted to swim into his chest like a dolphin and just be hugged in his arm, right?
Wow.
So at that level,
Yeah.
it it is a relationship that brings peace into you. And
Yes. True.
I see that they have a practice in spirituality together. Normally they work together. Like for example, that client,
Yeah.
she channels and she does sardex, but he handles all of the
Business aspect.
publicity. Yes. Or for
Divine.
example,
Yeah.
yes. Ask Angels from Melanie Beckler. They work together. Miles is her husband,
Okay.
and he does all the publicity and all of the things, and she does all the channeling.
Ah,
Or for example, Melian,
yeah.
that she's like very famous. If you Google her on Instagram or something, you'll find her.
Okay.
They even look alike. They look alike, like they're twins. Yes.
Like, yes, I've noticed this a lot with like the real twin flames. They always have very similar features. Very
Yeah.
almost like it's the same, it's the soul's expression in a human form, right? So the
Yes.
similarity is the first thing that I picked up. I'm in a similar twin flame situation myself. So everything that you were saying to me is checking out. I feel like you read quite a bit for a lot of twin flame couples. Clearly, you have like so many examples to give me, and that already tells me you're very fluent in your frequency of interaction with them. So you know more than most people about it. And yeah, that really resonates for me as well. Yeah, the bliss part, especially how when you see that person, it's always this feeling of pure joy. It's pure peace. There is no disharmony. That's how I would put it. There is only unity of your yeah, your soul being merged with itself, like one with consciousness. Because I just experienced it like 2 months ago. It came to me. I am getting more into that aspect to share with the collective currently as I'm living the experience. So that's part of my soul purpose with my twin flame, and yeah, that's just it's a beautiful phenomena. It's magical.
It's
It's
magical
just it's
and
magic.
it's worth it.
It's so worth it. It's so worth it. I
It
would
may not be always easy,
put it.
but it's completely worth it. And
Yeah,
the easy part, the challenging part it is
yeah,
your twin flame or soulmate will push you to become the best version of you, and sometimes that will mean that it's not there with you, right?
right.
Or that it will behave in ways that maybe you don't agree, but it's always for the great good. It
Yeah,
activates you in such a way. But for me, mine, it feels like
yeah,
I have a guide that I know
yeah.
that is in human form. Be- I don't know if that makes sense. It's like a guide. I activated the connection instantly because I was talking. Since I met him and we have been in and out and in and out in a lot of ways
Oh,
and grown together, I think it started as karmic. It was a
oh,
lot going on. It was very hard, but now it's good.
you.
It's good. So
Yeah,
something that I will advise to someone that is in a soulmate or twin flame relationship, you have to
yeah.
be patient, you have to be tolerant, but also
Mhm.
you have to be responsible for your energy and allow it to be as it's meant to be, because maybe it's just meant to be for a weekend or for 6 months or for a year, and then that's it.
Yeah.
And sometimes it stays with you into a lifetime. But for me, I wouldn't have a frequency without having that twin flame connection, because it supports me energetically. It doesn't allow me to go in a lower frequency because
Right.
you share your
Yeah.
energy. Is, for example, imagine that you have like a bank account that is co-shared with someone else.
Okay.
So if you spend all the money, then the other person wouldn't have money
Right.
to
It's
to
join.
use.
These
So
are
you're
join.
always taking care of each other because, like, hey, we're using the same energy. But the
Mm,
magic happens because if your energy works
yeah.
$500 and his energy $500, together you are $1 million. Does that make sense?
Yeah. That does make
But for
sense.
that,
Yeah.
you have to take care of yourself
What?
and take care of the
Mm,
connection so
mm.
you don't have bad finances on the energy. And normally,
Exactly.
when, yes.
Mm, yeah.
So for me, it feels like it protects me, masculine energy,
Yeah.
and it doesn't have to do anything with gender,
Yeah.
but with the qualities of the energy. Masculine energy will work from heart below. It will be power, protection, instructor,
Okay.
abundance, prosperity, security, feeling safe, sensuality, feeling joyful, being comfortable in your body, feeling worth it, feeling powerful. All of that will function in the masculine energy. And then
Correct.
in the heart, you meet with the feminine counterpart, and then the feminine counterpart will be expression, creativity, healing, and all of the psychic attributes, right? You
Right.
channel your psychic, all of that. So when you have the connection, normally what happens is you complement each other, if that makes sense.
Yes, like yin and yang, you bring
Yes.
out each aspect, the opposing aspect, very complementary. Yeah, I see that. Divine femininity and divine masculine. Yeah. And they each have these attributes that only when joined together, I feel, make the God source connection. It's showing me like a photo when
Yes.
they're joined together, the unison. When they come together is what the visuals I'm getting currently. It's like this s- very intense sort of awakening and merging into one. Yeah, yeah. It's like soul pieces being separated, but then being brought into one, and then it becomes one soul, if that makes any sense. Yeah.
Together.
Together, yeah, like one.
Together. But in one way, we're all twin flames because we all come from the source. So at the one way, my theory is that we all merge with each other. So you don't have just one.
Right.
You have many. That was the first thing that I learned. But you
Yeah.
have always one that is a preference. That is kind of like the best one that you like the most, but you may have many. So when you merge with that, maybe you would like to merge with other aspect of you.
Wow. Oh. So there's like different aspects to this, like more aspects of the same twin flame. Is that what you mean? Like the same
Yes,
twin flames,
because look,
different timelines, kind of.
yes,
Yes.
yes, because
Yeah.
we're all from the source, right?
Right.
So we all split. So
Split.
it's not
Yeah.
just two, it's all of us. So at some point, all of